Hey all you grateful diabetics out there. So today I'm going to start my own sourdough starter. I had on my Facebook, I talk about sourdough and other no-nos, or not other no-nos, but no-nos for bread, but how sourdough is actually good, something that diabetics can eat, and it's actually good for everyone. But I'm not going to go into the whole bread thing. So I just wanted to share my very first time starting my sourdough. And this is courtesy of a longtime friend of my parents and my family, Angel Millet. He was the one that commented about his sourdough starter and how he makes his own bread. So I thought that was awesome, and I thought you could share it with me. So little did I know that I do not have 3/4 of a cup in any of my measuring cups. I have 2 sets and they're both gone. So I had to look it up. What I have is I'm using a tablespoon. 12 tablespoons equals 3/4 of a cup. So the recipe is 3/4 a cup flour with 2 extra tablespoons added in. So I've done all the tablespoons but 1, so I thought you could watch me do that. So here we go. Now, as I am not a baker, I am a non-professional, which I keep telling people. And obviously I don't have to tell you to wash your hands before you touch anything that has to do with food. Okay. That disclosure aside, let's go ahead and get the last tablespoon of flour. So here it is. I've got a heaping tablespoon of flour. You're going to, don't use the rounded side of a knife, use the flat side. So you want to scrape it evenly because you always want to make sure it's even. I learned that years ago as a child at my grandma's side when she cooked. So we're just going to kind of do this, make sure, and then scrape it across. And you can see it's flat. So let's dump it in, and now we've got that. Now, the second part that you need ingredient to go in there is a 1/2 cup of water. You're supposed to measure everything. Everything was pre-measured already, and then I put everything back, so we should be good to go. So we're gonna put everything, do not use a metal bowl, do not use a plastic bowl, you wanna use a glass bowl. Get everything in there. Pour the water in, make sure all of it like so, and then we're just going to stir it until it becomes like paste. So let's do that. And from what I'm seeing as I'm stirring this, I'll just tell you a little bit about the recipe I found. Actually, I found a bunch of recipes and they all pretty much said the same thing. It takes about 5 days or so for your bread, your flour here, and you can use any kind of flour because there is the yeast that is out there is going to, it's in all of our air, so it's going to work its magic on our flour and water here. So once you see it start bubbling, you know it's working. So every day, well, you're gonna let this sit for actually 24 hours, and then you're gonna feed your sourdough starter here with the same amount of flour and the same amount of water. So you always have that, and you keep doing that for the next several days, and you should continue actually to do that if you're going to keep your sourdough starter going and keep it going. And what you're going to do is you can take some of it once the bubbling is all done, once it's ready to be made into bread, and then you can make it into bread. I don't know how to do that yet. I just wanted to do the starter with you. So we're going to cover this. I've got a good amount of sticky, pasty flour here. We're going to cover it with some plastic wrap, or you can use a towel. I'm trying to use up all the plastic in my house before I don't have it in my house anymore. We'll see. I'm fighting against a husband that keeps buying it. Anyway, we're going to, put that here. We're going to scrape it all down. And then for 24 hours, we're going to keep it covered, and then we'll check on it and feed it again the same amount of flour and water. You want to keep it in a room that is 70 to 75 degrees, and that will help the yeast out there to work its magic. And don't put this on mega tight, but you want it on tight enough where, you know, nothing's going to get in it. Or you can use, like I said, a towel, which might actually, be a little bit better to use. Oh, I forgot it's a cutter. Okay, so let's put that on. I'm actually just going to put it, a lot of people say they put it over their fridge. We're not going to put it on top of the, not over the fridge, on top of the fridge. Okay, there we go. It's on, it's nice and loose. I'm just going to put it in the pantry because our pantry is about that temperature. Okay, if you make a starter kit or a sourdough starter as well, let me know. So one grateful diabetic to another. Have a great day.